What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tune In Breakdown podcast, where I tune into the music and break down what it's all about. My name is Luke Tucker, and we're going to have a good show today. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tune In Breakdown podcast, where I tune into the music and break down what it's all about. I'm your host, Luke Tucker, and we're going to have a good one. Today, we're covering the brand new single from the Driver era, titled I'd Rather Die, that released on March 28th, 2025. This is the latest single for their upcoming fourth studio album, Obsession. This is single number 7. Now, a little bit about the Driver era. This is an American music duo. It consists of brothers Rocky and Ross Lynch. For those of you that grew up watching Disney Channel in the 2010s, you're likely to know Ross Lynch from the hit TV show Austin and Ally. He played Austin Moon. Now, these brothers were both members of the group R5, consisting of even more of their siblings. However, that group went defunct in 2018, and then Rocky and Ross, they formed a new duo titled The Driver Era. They've released 3 albums so far, titled X, Girlfriend, and Summer Mixtape. Now, let's go ahead and break down the music. This new song is their latest single. It's very much more subtle and minimalistic compared to their previous singles. There's hints of jazz in there. There's a very steady drum beat. And instead of having more maximalist music in the background, it's really just a simple, steady piano line going throughout. To go a little bit more into it, the duo is known for using synth, but that seems to not be quite as prominent in this track. Again, there's a tight little drum loop that's used throughout, and the production's very simple. There's a little tape piano to set a more laid-back tone for the song. The use of gang vocals is actually the kind of the centerfold of this whole thing, with gang vocals meaning multiple singers laying down vocal riffs taped on top of each other. There is a little bit of synth sprinkled throughout the track, so that way that style isn't completely lost. There's bass movement between the drums and the main vocal melody that lays a nice groundwork for the production to take off. Now, once the lyrics actually begin, it doesn't take long for the tone, the vocals, for everything to get stuck in your head. The vocal layering, as mentioned before, adds to the catchiness. There's a very staccato, which means almost short and choppy. The staccato melody in the chorus, it adds energy to what would normally be a more relaxed song. I actually have a couple quotes here from both Ross and Rocky themselves. Ross explains, "It's the same kind of concept where we're tackling the concept of obsession and habits, and basically just saying, I know these things are killing me, but I'm not quite ready to give them up, so I'll do it tomorrow." With Rocky adding, there's a bit of that loop. There's a bit of that same old story we're referencing too, where everyone has their own loop that they probably can climb out of by doing it today instead of tomorrow. I mean, I think that's a really interesting idea of talking about the concept of, I know that these things are bad for me, sure, but I don't know that I can give them up just yet. I'm going to try again tomorrow. That's something that I know people often do struggle with, whether it be some kind of addiction or if they do just have a bad habit that they're trying to kick. People often get into that mindset of, I can keep doing it today, maybe tomorrow. It's not the healthiest thing in the world, and I think that's what the Driver era here is going to kind of go into with the rest of this album. Now, let's break into the lyrics of the song. So the first verse starts off with, "I shouldn't drive, I'm way too high, can't get enough." He's acknowledging that he's not in the best mindset. He continues to push forward, though. This could symbolize reckless behavior, both literally, with the high mentioned there, and metaphorically, pushing past the limits despite the risks that you're going to be taking. Next, it's not what it seems, or can it be? Am I in love? There's a sense of confusion as he's questioning whether their feelings are genuine or if they're distorted by his current altered state, as mentioned by the high. This suggests internal doubt, possibly between addiction, obsession, and real love. This is followed by, I'm on my knees, I'm begging please, can't give you up tonight. He's expressing vulnerability, begging for the other person not to leave, while also showing desperation. He repeats the word tonight, and that emphasizes his urgency and the kind of fleeting nature of this moment. The refrain is just a simple, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. This is like I was talking about earlier, where you're wanting to hang on to your old habits, but you know you should get rid of them, so you're going to try again tomorrow. This could represent procrastination and even the idea of self-deception or lying to yourself. You're promising to change and to quit this bad behavior in the future, but more often than not, people don't really follow through. It's a nature of cycling of addiction, destruction patterns. It promises improvement to be made, but they're very rarely acted upon. The pre-chorus saying, I know I've said this before about 1,000 times. I try my best to be good, but I live for the night. He's admitting to repeating the same mistakes and breaking the same promises over and over. It's a pattern that he's unable to break free from. He seems torn between wanting to be a better person and being drawn to the nightlife. You can see it as a conflict between ideals and actions. It could also symbolize indulgence in partying or escapism, where that's where they feel that they can find their true self. This is followed by, and baby, can't you see that I got everything that I need? Despite his erratic and almost indulgent behavior, he claims to have everything that he needs. This may indicate that he feels self-sufficient in his reckless lifestyle, or that he can only feel complete when he's with this person. The chorus is very simple. It's repeated. It says, but if I can't have you, I'd rather die. And this is the emotional core of the song. He expresses an intense feeling of desperation. This love or obsession that he feels to this other person is so overpowering that not having them feels like the end of the world. It's an all or nothing mentality that's very much not healthy. It can lead to a distorted view of love. And again, he repeats this, and this enhances the feeling of hopelessness that he's feeling. The second verse, he says, I've been losing my balance, my balance, my balance. Keep on keeping these habits. It's tragic. This is reinforcing the idea that he's struggling to maintain control, maybe because of substance abuse, emotional turmoil, whatever it may be. He is having trouble staying balanced. He acknowledges that these habits are taking a toll on him, and he recognizes it as tragic. But despite recognizing that harm, he's still trapped in a cycle of repeating the same behaviors. In the bridge, he says, B word, don't kill my vibe, because this S word is paradise. I'm trying to keep this podcast clean, so I can't say those words. In the line, he seems to be defensive, almost, trying to protect his lifestyle from the judgment of others. With the phrase, don't kill my vibe, suggesting that he doesn't want to hear the criticism about his choices. And paradise, ironically referring to the fleeting, temporary high that he gets from this lifestyle or relationship. The lyric, B word, don't kill my vibe, may also be interpolation of the 2012 song of the same name by Kendrick Lamar. I think that's, I don't know if that's a stretch or not, but I found that personally interesting as a Kendrick Lamar fan. He follows this up by saying, "You gotta keep it up, make me feel alright, feel alright, feel alright." Here there's a call to maintain this illusion that's keeping him feeling good. It's not genuine happiness, but it's a temporary escape. He repeats the pre-chorus as mentioned earlier, and then the chorus again. Some overall themes of this track, very much addiction. There's very heavy focus on potential substance abuse, self-destructive behavior, emotional dependency. He seems to be trapped in cycles of highs, literally and metaphorically, and lows, unable to break free from his destructive habits. There's the idea of obsession, which again, that's the name of this upcoming album that this is a single for. He uses the extreme line of "I'd rather die," which it shows his emotions are consumed by his feelings for another person. This obsession reflects a need for control, validation, escape, and he knows that there's going to be consequences when these things aren't met. There's also this idea of self-awareness versus denial. There's moments of self-awareness where he realizes the damage that he's causing, but he's continuing to engage in these behaviors. It's indicating a struggle between knowing what's wrong and being either unable or unwilling to change. Now, this song, as truly catchy as it is, it does tackle a little bit of tough subject with the idea of addiction, obsession, as I've mentioned, and knowing that you're indulging in these reckless behaviors. But with all that being said, this truly is, it's a really good single from them. It's a sound that I can't recall them having explored before. I'm interested to see if there are any more songs on this album that have this sound sonically. Lyrically, based off the previous singles and the titles of some of these tracks, I know that they're going to be exploring very similar themes. But again, sonically, musically, I'm curious to see if there's going to be more stuff that sounds like this. I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. This is a very good single. Now, for my recommendations, I'm going to recommend Heaven Angel, also by the Driver Era. There's similar themes of romantic obsession and that loss of control. It's very danceable. I'd say even more than this one, personally. There's a little bit of a darker synth layer to it that I think some people may vibe with more. I would recommend Love It If We Made It by the 1975. This is, I think, a little bit more kind of chaotic instrumentally with the same emotionally charged lyrics. I would also recommend Bad Decisions by The Strokes, which is a great example of upbeat, driving indie rock with themes of making mistakes but still feeling alive. Thank you guys for tuning into this podcast with me. I think that we had a great episode here. If you'd like to see listen to more of my episodes, you can find me on Spotify, Soundcloud, and YouTube as well. If you want to find my socials, I'm at TuneInBreakdown on Instagram and on Twitter. If you want to follow me personally, I'm at LW Tucker on Instagram. Once again, thank you for tuning into the music with me and for letting me get to break down what it's all about. My name is Luke Tucker, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in with me. I'm Luke Tucker, and this has been a breakdown of the music. See you next time.